everyone. Alice Brown and Lady V here. I almost said B, I don't know why. Sorry.
Have I really been that bad?
No, you have not. Alice Brown and Lady V, as in Victoria.
V, peace sign.
Here to bring you our weekly update. You'll have to excuse us. We are just coming back from a long trip, a major show, and it had lots of problems. So we're going to dive into this last weekend. We were at Holden Beach, North Carolina, at the Festival by the Sea. Now, before I go any further, let me state emphatically that the problems that we ran into had nothing to do with the event itself, the coordinators, or anything like that. This is actually one of our favorite shows because it's easy getting in and out. The parking is great. For an outside show, it's one of the better ones.
Yes, definitely.
Unfortunately, weather did not cooperate with us this weekend whatsoever, and it was horrendous. It started Friday when we went down to set up in the pouring down rain. So we could not set up at all. Mr. Brown went down with us because we're at a show that size. We're at two vehicles, and he had to return home. So we had to at least get the tent set up and get his car unloaded. So we did that. We dropped off the tables and we set up the tent, the chairs, and the things that we knew whether the tent leaked or not, it wasn't going to damage it, anything, any product or anything. All the products stayed in my car. So we got up Saturday morning in hopes that we would have good weather. It didn't happen. On top of the drizzling, nasty, moisture-ridden air, we had high winds, very high winds.
I will say that all the weights and staking down the tent did hold. We did not have any problems with the tent at all.
Yes, that was a miracle because that wind was brutal.
It was pretty wicked.
Saturday, because of the high wind and all the moisture, we had no choice but to leave the sides down on the tent, which boxed us in tremendously.
Not a setup that we're used to. If you've been to any of our shows or seen
not at all.
our tapes on
we
shows.
Actually were less than half of our normal setup. We set up bare minimum, and that was it. Most of the books and most of the mugs stayed in my car the entire time because although the mugs are perfectly safe and water's not going to hurt them whatsoever,
they are
the cardboard boxes that they're packed in. That's a different story.
Do I have one? Yeah, I got an extra cardboard box. I mean, these little cardboard boxes, you can see they're not very thick. That's not going to hold up very well.
No. And there was so much moisture in the air that just 2 trips from our tent to the car, getting things out that we had to have Saturday, our clothes were drenched. And so we had no choice but to sit there and do the show all day Saturday in wet clothes.
Do you have any idea what that does to somebody with fibromyalgia?
Yeah, not a good thing. Not a good thing at all.
But you can't control this.
No,
I mean, it wasn't. This was something. I mean, yeah, it sucked to go through, but it's not something that you can control. It's not something that people doing the show can control.
No,
whatsoever.
Weather is out of everybody's hands. So it just.
And I mean, once you're there,
it is what it is.
We've preached on this channel. Take care of yourself as a vendor, but unfortunately, when you're already there, you're already paid for your hotel, you're already paid for your show, you've already got your stuff there. It's you kind of stuck between a rock and a hard spot.
Yeah, between the hotel reservations and the show itself, we were going into that show $500 under.
Yeah,
and that's a lot of money to eat just backing out of the show. And I knew that I could have, but I would have had to lay out all that money with nothing in return. And so we made the decision to try to salvage it. Excuse me. The other thing that did not help is our weather forecasters were not accurate whatsoever. Because Sunday was supposed to be pretty. Sunday was supposed to be sunny and gorgeous and low winds. What did we walk into?
Medium winds, cold, cloudy.
It was freezing. We made the decision to take down the sides Sunday, knowing that was hindering us Saturday tremendously. Because when you're walking down the walkway and you can't see inside the tent until you're right there, you lose a lot of sales because people just keep walking on by. They don't really recognize you or deal with you. It's in a situation like that, it's a sea of white tents quite often. And so you just kind of blend in with everybody else. And especially if you've got those sides down, that's a deterrent. They can't see from far away.
Yeah.
Nothing's there to grab their eye.
Yeah.
And that was a big problem. So we decided to take the sides down Sunday and go ahead and do a full setup Sunday, or pretty much a full setup Sunday, and about froze to death because of it, because the wind was brutal. Very brutal.
It was not as high as it had been or strong as it had been on Saturday, but it was
colder.
It bit.
Yeah, it was colder. I had 3 layers on, and that wind was just going right through me.
3 layers, and we had we keep a nice big blanket in the car just in case of emergencies, and we used it.
Yep, we had that wrapped around us, wrapped around our legs, and so yeah, that was not one of our better shows, unfortunately. But we are looking forward to going back next year,
and we did see several return customers, which was really nice to see them this year.
Yes, we did, and to those customers that came out and braved the elements to see us, thank you from the bottom of our heart, because we know it was a tough weekend. It really was. So we also saw a couple vendors that we knew. We were kind of surrounded with vendors that we already knew from previous shows.
It was kind of nice. We had like our own little circle going.
Yes, we did. The artist that was right next to us, she was right next to us last year at this exact same show.
Yeah.
So that was wonderful to see her. There was the guy in front of us, across from us. We met him and his wife years ago, back when we first started doing jewelry. So we've actually seen them on and off at shows for the past 6 years now. And so that was really great to catch up with him too. And so, but we did meet a new vendor.
We did.
And this vendor impressed the mess out of both of us. She is a 14-year-old girl. And she was there with her family. Her mom and dad were there supporting her. This was her very first show. And she impressed us so much that she is going to be our Artist of the Month. And I'm going to turn things over to Lady V and let her talk to you about this young lady and what all she does, because she is phenomenal.
Yeah, Emma Ray is the young girl's name, and she is fabulous. I loved her personality. I loved what she did. I did support her, and I bought a cute little multicolor octopus. I keep wanting to call it a squid, but it's an octopus.
It looks white.
There we go. No, I was trying to get it to focus.
Oh, okay. It's actually multicolor. It's pink and blue, but it's
yellow and a little bit of white.
Pastels.
Pastels, yes.
Yeah. So is it knit or crochet?
Crochet. She does all of her creatures are crochet. She is also an aspiring children's author.
Yes.
She's already written a book, done the illustrations, and created creatures for her book that she crochets as well. And I, of course, picked this one up for Guardian. He's currently looking around the house for it because I borrowed it for the video. But he fell in love with it as soon as I brought it home. I'll also insert a picture here of him curled up with it in bed because he fell in love with it.
Yes.
Of course, I also did sprinkle a little catnip on it. That helped.
I was very impressed with the fact that her parents are starting her off so young in the business world and teaching her as she goes, hands-on. That is something you don't see very often.
You don't see very often.
And I was amazed. I really was.
I'm proud to say that having watched them interacting with one another this weekend and seeing her ambition and where she wants to go in life, this child is going to make it. This girl is going to make it out in this world. She's going to learn that, if you need a side hustle, you can do that while working a career, whatever her real ambitions are for later on in life. She will make it. She will be okay. And that made my heart swell to know that this person is going to be okay in this world.
Well, the love that family had for one another, you don't see in today's world very often at all.
Mom and Dad braved the weather.
Yes, they did.
They were from Charlotte and had come down to their beach home for vacation, and they had the weather had taken them by surprise. They told me they had to make an emergency shopping spree to buy warmer clothes because it had taken them by surprise too.
Yeah, I think it caught a lot of people off guard.
It did.
We were not anticipating the weather we had to deal with for this show, but she was wonderful.
She was. She had, I believe, 70 items on Saturday when she opened up, and she went home with 10 left. She nearly sold out in the first day. So she had pulled an all-nighter doing up crochet items. She was crocheting all day Sunday just to get a few more items out on her table. But I am going to leave all of her information, both her Instagram and her Etsy page, linked down below in our description. So please, please, please go give her some love. Order.
What is her name again?
Emma Ray.
Emma Ray.
Yeah, the company is made by Emma Ray. So, let's see if I can. The company is made by Emma Ray, if you can see that, hopefully. I don't have my glasses on, so it's a little hard for me to see the little finder.
We'll leave the links down below, though.
But all the links will be linked down below. She does do a few custom orders, so just go check her out. See what
she's on Etsy.
She is on Etsy. Yep. She's just gotten her Etsy page up and running, so she'll be adding to it as she goes. And
yeah, and this girl is 14 years old. She is still in school. She's in 9th grade. I mean, they were leaving Sunday evening. The show ended at 4. We were packed up and ready to go by about 5, and they were pulling a late nighter driving back to Charlotte because she had tests the next day.
Yep.
So this girl has got some ambition to her.
She does.
Some drive and wonderful, wonderful personality, and her family is just absolutely lovely.
A beautiful family.
Yes.
Yep.
Very much so. So go give her some love. Okay, so vendor tip this week is going to be tying down the tent. And that will be at the end of this video. And the reason why we chose this week, and yes, we did film it while we were at Holden, is because out of all the situations that I have ran across in the past 6 years that we have done shows, 4 with jewelry and now 2 with books, the top of the tent is your most susceptible to problems, in my opinion. That's where your leaks are going to come from, but that's also where the damage is going to come from if you've got high winds.
Because your wind will actually go up under, lift the tent, and pull. So it doesn't matter really how much you have on your legs. Is you have to kind of support it, because otherwise it's just going to yank it and pull it and lift it.
Yeah, you've got to tie down and brace down that top of that tent. And that's very important. And that video is coming up at the end of this. So stay tuned. Okay, our next show.
Geek and Grub, once
Grub,
again.
Yes.
And this month's theme is going to be 90s retro. So we're going to have a bunch of Pokemon, Nintendo, cassette stuff.
Guess what's going to be out there?
The Oscar Mayer Wiener truck.
Yes, and they're giving away a bunch of free stuff. I know your dad told me last night that he wanted an Oscar Mayer Wiener whistle. I don't know if they're going to have those or not, but
yep, they used to have those. He used to have one. Unfortunately, it got lost years ago in one of our many moves.
Yes. So that is going to be a lot of fun. They've got a Bop It competition for both children and adults, and a hula hoop competition. So that's going to be fun. So if you are free, the show is going to be Sunday, November 13th at Fred Fletcher Park from 11 to 3. So we hope you can join us there. That is going to be a lot of fun. Yes. And then after that, our big show comes Thanksgiving weekend. And this is at the Jim Graham building at the NC State Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Yes, that's Thanksgiving weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And this is a huge show. But the main point I want to stress to everybody is, because we have so many plaques and we have so many statues of dragons, there has not been one show this year that we've been able to bring everything at. But
except this one.
Christmas Carousel, I paid for a bigger booth so that we could bring everything. So for our dragon lovers, this is a show you're going to want to go to, because all of our dragon statues will all be out on display and for sale. Of course, we'll be there with our books too, signing and autographing them. So come join us. That's, again, Thanksgiving weekend, Jim Graham building at the State Fairgrounds.
Yeah, forget wanting your 2 front teeth and a hippopotamus for Christmas. I want a dragon for Christmas.
Matter of fact, we bought matching t-shirts
Yep.
that say all I want for Christmas is a dragon. So and we'll be wearing those that weekend. So hope you join us there. And one last thing that I have to bring up, as many of you know from shows, when you sign up on our newsletter, you get the pin for free. And we have had these for quite a while now, and we are running very low. So we decided to order some new ones and step things up, and they just came in and they were absolutely gorgeous.
I love these. So as you can see, it still has our information on it with our name and our website. These have a nice little, what is it called, chevron on two sides, for makes it easy for gripping. And it still comes with the stylus, but you might notice that the stylus is actually really fine point. So it actually
very nice if you want to do some doodling on your
very
iPad
nice.
or your phone or whatever have you.
I've already been testing out mine and writing with it, and I love it. It's nice and smooth.
And we've got them in 4 different colors. We've got them in red, green, navy blue, and then the black, and then they all are in rose gold, which I think is just absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
It's stunning. I love these pens, and they write fantastic too.
They
I've
do.
already checked them out. So
I've got one attached to my notebook right over here because I absolutely love it.
If you have not signed up for our newsletter yet, come see us at any one of the shows. Sign up because we will be having these and giving them out for free. So, anything else we got for this week?
I think that about does it for me.
Okay, of course, we didn't get any writing done because we've been busy with shows, but
that's coming.
That is coming. We hope next week to be able to report a little bit of writing anyway.
And also coming next week is we do have some new plaques. Unfortunately, I did not have time to get pictures and get them uploaded onto the website for this week's video, but they are coming next week, so keep an eye out for
those. So that'll all be next week, so stay tuned. And until then, have a great day. Hey guys, for our vendor tip of the week, we want to show you the importance of our weights. And we've got 35 pounds. I've got a 15 weight and a 20 weight on each one of these poles, or each one of the edges of the tent. The important thing I need to show you is that this is connected all the way up here to the top of the tent. See how this is connected? All the way down. All right, and the reason for that is because the mistake a lot of vendors make is they don't clamp the top of the tent down, and that is what you're going to lose in a windstorm. As you can see, we're set up for a show. We're down at the beach. It has been windy as all this weekend, but guess what? This tent has not moved a bit. So, vendor tip of the week is make sure your tent is anchored down, good and tight, and anchor the top of it. Whatever you do, your weights, whatever you use. You can see my neighbor's got some sandbags here. Make sure yours is anchored to the top of that tent. Hope you all have a good day.